Every founder wants to know how to build a successful company, what strategies to follow, what skills to learn, what markets to enter, what investors to approach, and how to scale faster. But if you genuinely want to succeed in business, you should know what to do, but more importantly, know what not to do. While building startups, founders make multiple mistakes. There are a few that are part of the process. Your product might not work on demo day. Your marketing campaign may just fail, or your customer might be very unhappy and leave a bad review. All these are situations that you can recover from, but some mistakes are foundational. Such mistakes not only damage your trust and reputation, but also damage the company itself. There are a few lines founders should avoid crossing, especially in the early stages of building a company. So, in this video, I want to talk about 3 non-negotiables for a startup founder. Basically, 3 mistakes they need to avoid if they truly want to build an investable, scalable, and successful business. The first non-negotiable is do not compromise on your core principles or ethics. There is often a thin line between flexibility and compromise. A founder has to be flexible. Markets change, customers change, funding environments change. Your strategy may need to change many times, but your values and ethics should not change based upon pressure. In the last few years, we've seen multiple cases in the Indian startup ecosystem where governance issues, compliance gap, financial irregularities, or overstated numbers have damaged companies that otherwise looked very promising. I'm not saying this to target any particular company or founder. The larger lesson is simple. When trust breaks, everything becomes harder. As a founder, you may be tempted to show better numbers than reality. You may delay uncomfortable conversations with investors. You may ignore compliance because the business is moving fast. You may justify small shortcuts because you believe the larger vision is good. But these things compound in the wrong direction. A company can survive a bad quarter. It can survive a failed product. It can survive a delayed fundraise. But once customers, investors, employees, or partners stop trusting the founder, rebuilding that trust becomes extremely difficult. So, adapt your strategy, change your model if needed, pivot when required, but do not compromise on foundation on which the company is being built. In fact, even if the business fails, you can always restart, and I am sure that there will be people, co-founders, teammates, and even investors willing to support you again. But if you compromise on your core values, principles, ethics, rebuilding next time becomes extremely difficult because trust, once lost, is very hard to regain. The second non-negotiable is do not lose commitment when results are slow. Starting up is always exciting, but continuously building and growing it to next level is difficult task. It's mostly repetitive, boring grunt work. A company can take anywhere between 5 to 10 years to become successful, and during all this time, you are resolving customer complaints, improving the product, hiring and rehiring, streamlining operations, managing cash flows, following up on payments, and dealing with uncertainty and new challenges daily. Honestly, businesses are not built as you see them on famous movies or TV series. Real overnight success stories are rare, and there are no investors lined up outside your door to give you a check. During this phase, many founders lose energy, focus, and even commitment to what they started building. When results do not come quickly, they either lose interest or start chasing something else. But meaningful companies are rarely built in single funding cycle or single viral moment. If you look at legacy businesses such as Titan, Asian Paints, Marico, or even modern startups that are successful today like Lenskart, Grow, their journeys were not built overnight. It took years of customer education, online and offline expansion, operational consistency, and category building. That is the nature of company building. Working with focus, commitment, and grit is what will give you success. Now, don't get me wrong here. Commitment does not mean you should blindly continue doing something that is clearly not working. This is stubbornness. The real point is to stay committed to the problem that you're solving while continuously improving your approach. In a nutshell, feel free to change strategy, pivot directions, but have the final goal clear in your mind. The third non-negotiable is do not let your ego become bigger than the company. Now, this is very important one. Many founders start a company with deep involvement in every function. But as the company grows, the founder's role has to evolve. Sometimes the company needs professional leadership in certain functions. Sometimes it needs a stronger operator. Sometimes it needs someone else to run day-to-day execution while the founder focuses on strategy, culture, product, or future growth. Recognizing this is not a weakness, it is maturity. A recent example is Dipinder Goyal, founder of Zomato. In 2026, Zomato's parent company Eternal announced that Albinder Dindsa would take over as group CEO while Dipinder would move to a role of vice chairman and focus more on long-term strategy, leadership and governance. From a leadership lens, this is an important lesson. At some stage, the founder has to ask, what does the company need now? And am I the best person to play that role? A founder's job is not to hold every position forever. A founder's job is to make sure that the company has right people, the right structure, and right leadership for next phase. You can see the same leadership across global companies, be it Google, Microsoft, Apple, any of these companies. They changed leaders when they felt that there was a new requirement or there was a leadership change that was required. To summarize, these are three non-negotiables I believe every founder should keep in mind. Do not compromise your core principles. Do not lose commitment when results are slow. And do not let your ego become bigger than the company. Entrepreneurship constantly tests your judgment, patience, and character. And often, the hardest decisions are not about what to do next, but about what not to do. Because what you protect as a founder often determines what you are able to build. If this video helped you, I would also recommend watching my earlier videos on key traits every founder needs, because these two videos are closely connected. And before you leave, tell me in the comments which of these non-negotiables do you think is hardest for founders to maintain. If this video was useful, do like the video and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next one.